steering wheel away from the agent. And he doesn't get like hit full on by the car. I mean, President Trump said that she was run over, that she ran him over, which isn't what happened. If you watch the videos, especially the cell phone footage that came out, much of the impact that comes from is when he has his hand up against the car and it's pushed up against his body. So he's not, hit full on by the front of the car, though we can't say exactly how much if he was sideswept or anything like that. But there's nothing that shows from the video clips, at least, that she was trying to run him over or anything intentionally.
Which is crucial. And now in the incident report, we're hearing there may have been four shots. You went through the seconds of the second and third shots and when they were fired, which, I mean, just to state the obvious for anybody, right? If the whole argument is we don't even need to look into this because it was such obvious self-defense, by the second and third shots, that would be excruciatingly clear, right? I mean, that's what would happen in that case. So let me play more of your analysis.
The other angle shows he's still standing, continuing to maintain his grip on his phone and his gun. And we see a clear and growing gap between his body and the SUV as he fires a second shot and a third.
Okay, I we can pull that up and pause it again. I think because I want to be really clear about the significance of what you're saying there. This would be that when the second and third shots were fired, in a case of self-defense because you think you're about to die, the car is pulling away from him, his body is moving away from it, and it is then you say that he is firing the second and third shots.
So the first shot he fired, he looks like his body was at least very partially in front, according to the video at least, very partially in front of it, but he's coming to the side here. The second and third shots, at that point, he's kind of closer to the driver's side window, right? He's like kind of like away from the front of it. Mm-hmm. And his body is completely outside the trajectory of the hood of the car at this point. And his feet are slipping back a little bit because it's very icy, right? Like when he made contact with the vehicle, he doesn't fall down and his hand doesn't drop the phone, right? Because even though it's not that much impact, it's much to knock him down.
Yeah.
But at the point that he fires the second and third shot, the car is already moving in a different trajectory and he's reaching over at that point. There's a gap of a few feet or so between his feet and the body, or in the body of the car.
And just to be clear, I just have to keep saying this, if you're able to do this, you would think the DOJ could do that, and we could have a real investigation into what happened here, which is what should happen. You're doing it. It's crucial that journalists do that, but it should be done by law enforcement. So the administration has then also pointed to the video that many of us have seen, Eric, from the officer's cell phone, because the ICE has been encouraging officers to also film interactions, and so his phone jerks up. Right, and they're saying, well, that's because he was in danger, right? He lost control of his phone. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've gone through that, Eric. Let me show your analysis there.
While it appears the agent's getting knocked over, we can see that's not the case from the other angle, which shows he's standing with his hand near the headlight, his torso and legs away from the vehicle. In the cell phone footage, the agent's face flashes on screen, then it goes black. The other angle shows us why. We can see the agent's foot sliding, his hand bracing against the SUV, and his arm getting pressed into his chest. It is impossible to determine if this is happening because of the SUV's movement or the icy asphalt, or more likely, both.
Also a crucial conclusion there, the ice.
Yeah, it was an icy road, and you can see the wheels spin a little bit out, right, when she's doing her third-point stop to leave at 1.2. And the point of the clip you just shown is that when you watch this cell phone clip in isolation, you think, oh my God, he's going to run over his car. It's like hitting it full force, right? Because it has the phone flip up the sky. But when you watch the synchronization with the other clips, like you're doing right here, you can see what happens. The phone, he's holding his hand out at the phone, and it flips up, right? Because it hits up, and so it points up the sky, but he's still on his feet. Like, even with the icy road, he's still on his feet with the amount of contact the car is making with him. Which seems like, we're kind of doing a CSI, doing like ultra, the exact angles and all this stuff. But it's important here when you think about kind of deconstructing exactly what happened, what parts of his body were touched and not touched and hit and not hit by the vehicle. And we've done the best we could have kind of with all the available evidence of showing that.
Yeah, well, again, it's just so crucial that you are. And, it's important somebody's doing it. We wish there were a fulsome investigation that would give everybody in this country the confidence But at least they have the ability to go and look at your reporting where you do that hard work. And everyone, you can go ahead and see Eric and his team's work, but go to the New York Times homepage. That is where it is, at NewYorkTimes.com.